Every man has his techniques, and they're all different. And when you know mine, you'll be dead.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. This is going to be another setup episode. Your host Steve Fletch. I got Mitch Hartman here. Mitch, how's it going?
Chilling, man. Everything's good.
And we have a guest today, Shane Heyl. Shane,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Yeah, we good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. Much love.
I guess we can just get right into this. What is your average setup right now? Do you always ride the same thing, or do you try switching stuff up?
Pretty much the same thing every time. There might be little tweaks here and there. Maybe it might be a wheelbase tryout. Might be try a smaller wheel, a bigger wheel. That's about it. Maybe my bushings might need to be tweaked. Try different bushings. Yeah, where you want to start?
Yeah, so if you were going to pick out, you're going to go set up a new board tomorrow. What's the board shape?
The width of the board is 8.125, and that is a Baker board. It is called the C47. It is actually one of the first Baker boards ever made. I believe it was on this shape from when the company was started. When Andrew was still on Birdhouse, I believe he was riding this particular shape. Now, over the years, I'm sure it's changed maybe a little bit here and there, but that's kind of what I stick to. It's a little bit more pointier than most. Doesn't have a full nose, full tail. It's definitely not square, so I can get that scoop.
Yeah, I remember that being like the Baker board thing. It always had like that pointier nose and tail. So you could just see it.
Yeah, and then the concave is mellow. If I were to be really picky, I'd go for a steep mellow.
Okay. So like a steeper nose and tail, but with the mellow concave?
I mean, it's all got to feel together, right? I can't have it flat in the middle and then nose and tail peak in here. So, yeah, I got to have a little concave.
Yeah.
So do you go through that? Will you stack them up and kind of look for the ones that...
Oh yeah, I'm in the warehouse I'm fortunate, right? I get to go in the warehouse where the boards are. I take one at a time. I stand on them. I stand on every single one until I feel like, oh, that one's the sweet spot. Feels good. Perfect kick, perfect concave. That's it, So no, they're not sent to my house and then I go, oh, if that was the case, I just skate every one though. And then when I got a guest board on Tear, it was a little bit more like a roundish, squarish shape that I kind of wasn't used to, but the concave was perfect. I loved it. Like it was right out of the box, good to go. So and then I could still skate it, but I think the flip tricks were a little bit off for me. But as far as the concave from the boards I ride all the time to the Tear board concave, it was seamless.
And I think it's interesting. So when you said it's pointier and you mentioned scoop, right? I didn't mishear that. That's like...
Yeah, so if I do a back 180 or let's say a nollie backside flip, I'm able to actually pinch the board in a way for it to do, rather than if it had a square or more roundish nose and tail, I'm going to have to hit it harder than turn. It's almost like a cheat code of some sort. 360 flips, which I don't do often, barely ever, but if I do a 360 flip, it's got that pointier tail to kind of get that scoop underneath. But when I'm going for my nose slides, I love it. And when I'm coming out of the nose slide, I can scoop out to bounce out. But then I've skated like the Tear board. It had a bigger, fuller nose where my whole foot just sat on that nose and it felt really good. So I could see myself kind of skating a little bit of a hybrid between like what I skate now and more of like a fuller nose and tail, but definitely not square.
Yeah, I can't do the square. It's too much.
I had because I always look for mellow boards, and I have this one friend, TJ, and he lives in Pennsylvania, so he's near where Scumco was, and he would go meet up with Nick, who was running Scumco at the time, and they were using PS sticks, and he's like, there's always a flat board in the run. The one run, he's like, oh, the flat board this time is an Evan Smith board, but it was square. Mm-hmm. So I remember ordering it, and I remember trying 360 flips, and I just felt so much drag because of the squared shape. I mean, the thing looked like a snowboard, but I felt all of that drag from trying it. Like it was just extra board on the ground. And
Yeah, I feel like you
it's
just
good to
got
know
to,
I'm not crazy.
yeah, straight up. I think when it comes down to that,
Yeah.
right? Like you're skating a shape that you're kind of not used to, whatever. You just got to find what that board's good at, like whether it's good for backside flips or maybe it's better for just olling. Like, hey, I can ollie some big ass shit with this board. It's got a perfect square tail, and I just smack it. Bah! Like, with the point of your tail, it can like if you don't hit it right, it can kind of teeter a little bit in the air, come off your feet a little bit. But yeah, the C47. I
So my
think
friend,
Baker might have one out right now, like even in the shops. He would even have like the sticker where it says like mellow concave or steep concave and has the dimensions on there. And I think there's one out there where it's like giving homage to that old shape, the C47.
Yeah, and the 8-1's like that good in between size where like you're
Oh,
still
that's it right
flipping
there.
out of grinds.
That Reynolds board with him doing a hand plant.
There you go.
Try it out, Steve. See what you think.
I had a, after the video came out, I went out and bought I was like, I called the local shop and I was like, do you have any Baker boards in an 8? And I ended up with a Casper Brooker board.
Oh, you ride an 8-inch board. Okay, so that wouldn't work for you. 8125 is too
Yeah.
big.
So I went for that. And I remember it was full dip. So I had to sit there at work with a wire wheel and like take all the side dip off. But it was cool too. The board was usually full dip boards. They're undyed, and this had a top and middle dyed ply on it. So that was pretty cool. Like, all right, cool. I can just take the sides off and I still have a top stain. Any top plies you will touch, won't touch? Does that matter?
I just stay away from red.
Like, do you have the red ply madness?
Yeah, I'm not skating the red ply top.
Red's my favorite.
Hey, that's amazing. I love that for you.
Yeah,
So cool.
I never learned about that till going to California like years ago. Probably like 2000 or something, even before then. I remember going to FTC and I asked, like, do you have any of these boards in the back with a red top? And like the music stopped and they were like, red top? No, we don't have any red tops here. And I was like, what? And then they, it went into some Mike Carroll story that he hurt himself or something.
Yeah, I mean, it just,
I was like, oh man.
That word of mouth travels a lot, and then you just like, I don't know, it becomes a thing, and then it sticks with you, and then that's it. It's just stuck with you, and there's so many different colors to choose from anyway. So you're just like, it's not like even when I get Shake Jump makes some boards, and when I send in my spec sheets, I random veneer tops, like whatever, but there's a note, no red, like don't make any of these red. Actually, but that's only for
I always say like late 90s, early 2000s Alien has like brainwashed me that like orange tops were like my favorite thing because all their boards in that era were all orange tops.
Yeah. I mean, the top veneer is cool. Like I've noticed that like sometimes the yellow tops might be a little bit more flat and kind of bend more. When I step on a purple top, I feel like it's super strong, like stiff almost.
Like the dark gray, the black, purple.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Man, this thing is a strong.
Yeah, Mitch, you ever hear those? Like the yellows and oranges are mellower and
they have a little bit more give.
Like the lighter colors.
They kind of bend a little bit. So if you like a flatter board, like, you would probably want to skate something like that.
Yellow
That's
top.
funny. I just like bright tops. I like the way they look. So I kind of lean towards those.
For sure. And then, I mean, when it comes to like the all over length of the board, like it's got to be 31 3/4, maybe a little bit bigger than that. So I kind of like a longer board. And then when it comes to the wheelbase, I've been kind of currently skating like a 14 1/4, but recently kind of wanting to go down to a 14. But I don't want to compromise the length of the board. So I would just take both trucks, move them into 14-inch, give myself a bigger nose, bigger tail, see how that works. But for the longest time, I've been riding this board, which is 31 7/8 inch, if I'm being super accurate. And the wheelbase is 14 1/4, and the board's 8.125. Yeah. Mellow concave, little steeper, and that is the board I ride.
So are you drilling the nose and tail in?
No. Nose is about just over 7 inches, 7 1/8 probably. Tail's about 6.5.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I can see it though.
Right? You're doing what? So what are you doing? 5-6 ventures on that?
No, 5.2.
Really?
Yeah, I'm riding an 8-inch 8-inch truck.
8. Yeah, I got 5.2. I have 5.2 on an 8.
So if I were to
And you
go,
do 5.2 high?
yeah, absolutely. So I did one time try out the Venture Lows, and I was just wheel biting everywhere. Like it was fun because I could snap quick, right? But I just
Mm-hmm.
was wheel biting too much. Ventures 5.2 high, titanium, which got the forged base plate and hollow kingpin. Super light. The titanium, because I feel like I don't grind, I don't crooked grind. I can mow through a crooked grind, right? So it's like the trucks can just go quick. And with the titanium, I feel like the truck lasts a little longer. And with the bushings, I was riding like Bones bushings, but then I just have to have always a stack in my backpack because they just break all the time. And like, yeah, you're good to go right out of the box that day, but I was just going through them. So I stopped riding those, and now I just ride the Venture bushings. The green ones seem to be working for me.
Yeah, it's so funny. That's like everybody's thing is those OG green ones.
Like I was kind of like the titaniums come with this white bushing, and I was trying that, but they were a little too hard for me. So I just switched over to like some green translucent Venture bushings, and that was the sweet spot for me, where I was like, it wasn't too loose, wasn't too stiff. So I ride my trucks kind of in between, not too loose, not too tight. And then I ride a Spitfire 52 millimeter. I was riding 51, tried that for a little bit, but I'm just like, they're too small. But it was awesome for flip tricks because I could hit my nose and tail a little bit quicker. But the speed, I couldn't get the speed I wanted. And then anything over 52, I just feel like it's too big for me.
That's interesting. That's where I just went to 52s after riding like 50s for, I couldn't even tell you, 10, 15 plus years I was riding 50s. And I went to 52s and it didn't bother me with the timing. So I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah, that's sick. Your wheels will last longer. You'll go
It's a
fast.
big difference. Like I noticed, even doing manuals and stuff, like I can keep my speed better.
For sure. Definitely.
And Mitch, what do you do? 53?
I'm on 54s right now.
54 vert wheels.
I think if I lived out there, I would probably end up trying to ride like I might even try to ride a bigger wheel or a wider wheel. I might even try like skating the Spitfire radials, which is kind of like I ride the classic Formula 4 99
Yeah, same.
DU. Yeah, if I were to go to a little bit of a wider wheel, I'd probably just go to the radial. I think that's just the same as a classic, but a little bit wider. Only ride spits.
Yeah, I think just because it was winter and it was like all that stuff, I was like, let me just try some 54s because I was going to Indies too. So I was all over the place. But I think now that it's nice out, I'm bringing back the Ventures.
Ventures are just the coolest truck. I always feel cooler having them.
Yeah, get yourself some shake junt Venture truck.
Yeah, exactly. See?
You didn't make them in Lowe's, right?
No, I didn't have that opportunity to do that.
Nobody's making lows. They make like 10 cents of lows a season.
It's funny because
Just
I
for
was
you.
I do 5.2 low, and like every time, like with Ventures, every time there's something cool, for the most part, I'm like, I can't get it.
Yeah,
5.2 highs, I can't ride them. So I have my trucks here, but luckily Mitch had the Jamirs, so I got one cool thing. I was so happy.
Yeah, I think the low Venture is absolutely it sits different than a regular Venture high. Not just because it's lower. I feel like where the actual,
like your geometry is even like pushed.
yeah, like where the hanger sits in the pivot cup, like everything about it. So I would actually try Venture lows with a riser pad. I tried that for a little bit, and that was kind of like this weird gray area sweet spot for a little bit. But I think we're talking millimeters at this point, right? So
that's interesting.
I mean, our whole life's about millimeters. We're talking about, I mean, you change a person's board by 1/8 of an inch, it feels huge or it feels too small. You change them from a 50 millimeter to a 52, it's like that's insane, like
Yeah,
all those
1 millimeter on each side.
But we know that shit. Like, we feel it. We're not just saying it. Like, we're tweakers, man. We're full blown tweakers. Like, if the person that doesn't know skateboarding and listen to us talk about these millimeters and these wheels and fucking, you know what I just started doing too? I was like, why are my trucks squeaking? They're like squeaking so bad that I'm like, it's irritating me skate. So my homie's just like, hey, you got to take the hanger out and you got to wax the little part that goes into the pivot cup. And I was like, no way. So I'm waxing the hanger and I put it back in, tighten it up. What do you know? No, nothing. Just
No squeak.
that is
All these little things.
A little trick to scare, it'd be that, that thing helps out tremendously. And you think it's your bushings that's making that sound, but it's not. It's in the pivot cup. Dried out in there.
See, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I feel like Kerry told me back in the day, like he put dish soap in the pivot cup.
Straight up. My homie was like, I had some like fucking suntan lotion, whatever, put it in there, dish soap, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like it will take that squeak out. But once it gets so loud, it's just like that's all you hear when you're skating. Like, oh, it's the worst. Real tweaker shit.
It's irritating.
I also like this is kind of cool to hear too, like us recreational skaters and you being pro and like pro skaters and I'm sure all the dudes you're skating with too, and it's 9 out of 10 to have these little, like you said, a millimeter off, and like I'm sure they can tell.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, from every level you have these people that are like, obsessed about their shape and whatever, but it's cool just to see like everybody has, like, it makes your board. That's like my favorite part.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's barely anybody out there where I can just go step on their board and be like, okay, I can totally skate this fine. Like there's going to be something off on it, right? Whether it's the trucks are too loose, too tight, the wheels are too big, too soft, the grip tape is all funky or whatever it is, like.
So then, what about bearings?
Shake junt. I'm not just saying that. Like for real, I ride my shit. Shake junt triple OG bearings. I pop the shields. I let them rip. I've had them for way over a year, probably 2 at this point, and they are just humming. Good to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those bearings right there. Go try them. The only thing, have you ever had bearings, you put them in, and then after like a month or whatever, the shield comes off? Are you a type of person that like, do you pop your shields? Do you like your things loud? Or do you like that compact, real quiet sound?
No, I want it to be loud.
Screaming, right?
Yeah.
I don't pop them. I guess.
Do you let them naturally fall off?
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
am I missing out on? I know they make that sound, but
you got a truck in your hand right now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Hold on. So, okay.
But yeah, I don't pop them.
Okay, so do you let the shields just naturally come off, or do they stay?
I would say whatever happens if they came off. I mean, I have Swiss in right now. I would probably, if they fell off, they fell off. I've had them since the summer and they haven't fallen off. If it was reds and the shields fell off, I'd probably go just buy another set of bearings.
So you do like that, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I probably should. I guess it's because they're Swiss, and I was lucky enough someone gave me these. But in my head, it's like these are like at the time, $60 bearings. I can't take the shields off.
Let me ask you this: have you tried a Bone Swiss bearing? Right? Obviously, it's probably what you ride. You're like, yeah, it's my best bearing. I've been grown up this way, where it's like the premium best bearing. It costs $60, and then your next set of bearings are reds or something else that is of like cost half as much. And did you see a significant difference, or is it just in your head as a placebo thing where you're like, nope, this is the best? There's only one.
I've had maybe 3 sets of reds Swiss my whole life. And like I said, I usually ride 50s, so I'm usually already against the game of bearings, really, or noticing. I've had Swiss where they were good, and I didn't really notice too much else going after those 2 reds, and it almost felt the same. Like I didn't really notice a big drop off. I feel like the Swiss last a little longer. I don't know if it's just better materials in them that they last longer.
So did you not feel a significant difference?
I want to say this time when I put these in, I did notice something. I was like, wow, these do let me roll longer, if that makes sense. Like if I pushed and went But like this set, I actually am like pretty impressed with this set of Swiss that I have. But usually the reds, I've had reds that'll last 3 months. And that's like usually my go-to. And
Sure.
then the mini logo bearings, which are Swiss reds, with 2 shields, and I didn't mind those.
What's the
Yeah, I
bearing
don't know.
above? What's the
But
bearing above Swiss? What's that called? The
what
ceramic.
are those? The ceramics.
So I don't know if you've ever
Yeah, I feel
skated.
like those, unless you're doing like downhill or something, are so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
heard with
still, I don't
those,
think
it's that they're
the
they're
ceramic
like
bearing's not gonna
contest
last
bearings, and
long.
if you're skating street, that's not even meant for it.
Right.
Sorry, what was that, Shane?
Oh, I'm just so when I go, obviously, like creating this, making sure that Shake John does have a good bearing. Like obviously you're going to skate a lot of the bearings out there just to see how it compares, and then obviously you want to have. For me, I didn't want to create a bearing such as a Swiss because it's like the competition of Swiss, and the plus it's a lot of money for a set of Swiss bearings.
Yeah.
So how do I get a price point bearing that is of quality? And to me, we found it. Like so whoever's going to buy bearings for their shit, it's just like, oh, I don't have $60 for a set of bearings that maybe they can afford these and damn be like, oh, these are actually legit. And hopefully that, but it's hard to break that mold, right? When your competition is, and now I'm talking on some business shit, right? So it's like, yeah. But all I'm saying
No,
is,
it makes sense. It's true.
yeah. So it's like when I go skate some Swiss bearings made by Bone Swiss, I'm like, oh, okay, these are good. I've skated them when I was younger. Then when I go back to them and I go back to my shake jump bearings, I'm like, dude, I'm not even tripping. Like I'm good.
It's good to have others on the market that are.
Well, I just threw a set in my cart, so I'm gonna give these a test.
Dude, please do, man. Pop the shields and let it rip.
Yeah,
Go
no,
for it,
totally.
man.
And what's cool about this is, no joke, like it's $21. Like that's not crazy at
No,
all.
it's good. It's good. And then
That's
I mean,
yeah.
even like all our bearings. I mean, we make 3 bearings, right? And so we got the lowrider bearing, which is super your startup bearing. And even that's going to be a quality bearing for a kid that's just learning how to skate. Like you're not going to see that bearing fall apart on you and like turn to shit. Yeah, that's a little go-to right there. Lowriders, homie. And then you got the night train right in between. You're just stepping up the ladder there.
Yeah, even that's like the mid grade one is $16. Like that's a steal.
Yeah, try it out.
Yeah, I mean it goes back to the presentation, but it also goes back to the product where like you took the time to find a good bearing that you're putting your name on it and getting behind it, so
yeah,
people are going to respect that and look into it.
Look, I'm not a bearing company though. At the same time, yes, I do make bearings.
Right.
I'm an accessory brand that does. I'm the trifecta here: grips, grip, bearings, bolts. That is what we kind of stand by the most, and everything else around it is kind of just like, yeah, we make some boards here and there. Obviously, we make clothes and we make a bunch of trinkets, but we try to stand by our product the best we can.
I don't think $21 is a bad investment to try, and like I said, I'm excited to try them.
No, I appreciate it.
I think that's
yeah. And then when it comes to the grip tape, you already know.
And so,
I would say
am I
even
popping the shields when I get them?
That's up to you. You know what? If you are a type of person that doesn't pop shields and you're kind of used to that sound and feeling, then don't do it. Like just ride them as is.
Oh no, I'm gonna pop them. I'm just, I don't know if it's a laziness or it's weird because I can be picky about every other thing on the board, and it's like
Yeah,
the bearings, which people are very adamant about popping the shields. That's like a lot of people. That's their thing. Like, oh, I got to get bearings, pop the shields, and I'm like, huh? I don't do that.
Well,
but I couldn't ride Phillips hardware if you paid me. I just wouldn't skate.
You can always pop the shield later. Like, let your board skate for a month and then be like, oh, I'm going to try it now. Pop them then. I'm not here to advertise pop my shields here. Like, no.
Yeah, no, but this.
You don't buy the bearings to pop your shields. That's just something that is a tweak that I do because I want those things sounding like loud.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it takes, you got to break them in too. You got to
I'll jump on the train.
You got to break the bearings in though. Like sometimes those first couple days might be a little
But I feel like that's every bearing. Like even
absolutely
anything I've tried, like the first couple days, it's like it almost feels soggy when it's brand new.
Oh, I hate that. I can't stand that.
So, and don't laugh, but do you guys remember Speed Demons?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and they had the oiled and they had the greased, and I used to always get the oiled because they didn't feel dead right away. They didn't last as long, but your board didn't sound waterlogged for like the first hour. Where the greased, once you broke them in, they would last longer, but they had that very dense sound. I remember that, so I always got the oiled ones.
That's tight.
So going back to product and talking about that, so obviously like Shake Junt's big time started with the grip tape.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? Do you have one that you like? Like, do you like full graphic? Do you like the small ones, like the cutouts?
My all-time favorite is the big, just the OG classic, big spray, green and yellow. That's kind of like if I had to pick a grip that I'm always gonna skate, it's gonna be that one. Yeah, right there. That's my guy right there. I mean, it was just like we started it with that. I'm gonna stand by that, and then we've been making a plain black grip tape, nothing, no dialogue, no cutouts, no nothing, black onyx. And so that's a different formula that we've kind of that we figured out and we kind of stand by so I'll be taking that grip sometimes. And lately I've been hand spraying grip tape again. That's just started off as like wanting to try some new colors and like get back into that for the team riders. And kind of just had fun doing it, and then we, sold some online.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
I wish mine had come just so I could have like had it here to like show it. But it's such a cool idea, like getting back to like where it started from.
It's a lot of work though, dude, man. I mean,
as soon as I got back from, I was saying to Steve when I got back from that trip, the first thing I was like, dude, I gotta like support some Shake Junt shit and buy some stuff. Like, so cool. Like I loved everything like that you had going on there. I was like, oh, I need to get some grip. I need to grab some t-shirts. Like just to, like you said, it's like supporting your friends. Like that's the people that you got to look out for.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it goes a long way. I mean, started this thing from nothing. So it's like, it feels good to go back to like spraying the grip tape, but it's a lot of work to do. Just 20 sheets. I mean, I'm doing,
oh, I'm sure
those have 3 different passes. So that's, 60 passes. And then you got to clean the screens in between each pass. And then, yeah, it's a process. But yeah, we've been using the black onyx.
Perfect. That's So what would you consider that? Is this like, I want to say, is it more like a closer to a Jessup or more of a mob in between?
The black onyx,
extra grippy, medium.
The black onyx grip tape is gonna be on the grippier side and lightweight. Okay. It is definitely gonna stick.
That's what got me for it. Like, as soon as I tried it out,
like the cold is not going to be a factor of your board, your grip starting to come up. In fact, when you get the grip, it might be like feel real flimsy to you, like lightweight. You're kind of be like, oh, I'm not, it doesn't have that big, thick, strong. What am I trying to say? Where the weight of it.
Yeah, it's not as
black
dense.
onyx in the cart too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be testing that out.
Test the black onyx.
I really like it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that even ride for Shake.
Yeah, I threw it in the cart. It's
amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Shake Junt that don't ride a logo grip, so they want to have like a plain black grip tape, and that kind of came from that, like let's offer that, because Shake Junt for the longest time never made anything plain. We always had the die cut or obviously the logos. And that's kind of where we wanted to stand by, because there was Mob and Jessup. They was just like, hey, there's a plain black grip tape,
And now, so the one I have here, the die cut one, is that a different grit than the black onyx?
Yes, that is. That is. So for you, Steve,
And so how would this?
for you, Steve, I would get the black onyx,
Okay.
plain black grip tape.
Cool. See this one, I like the cutout, and then you can leave in the cutout, right? So you just kind of see the outlines of it.
Yeah, so your grip will come with it already. Like you're gonna have to take it out yourself.
Yeah, I love that.
That's gonna
This
be
is
a
fun.
different. That'll be a different formula. So just a heads up on that.
Yeah, it's cool. You can try both out and see which one kind of works better for you.
Yeah.
Shake Junk grip review coming soon.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah, this is cool. So that's cool.
You
And then
see
we got
I got the box of black onyx behind me right there.
There you go. Love that.
And then I guess the most important part, and this is looking at the website, and I have had Shake John hardware before. I did have the Reynolds hardware, but this is cool. So is it only Allen?
For the pros, they can pick
Yeah.
whatever. For the pros, they can pick whatever they want. It's what they ride. So majority of everyone rides a 7/8 Allen.
That's amazing.
And so that's what
You do Allen too, Shane?
Yeah, so currently I'm riding those Jacopo Caruzzis, the 7/8 Allen. And then with those, I'm kind of I can go back and forth, but if I have to decide, like I want the nut to be silver and not black to match my base plate. And so with Jacopos, they come with the silver nuts, black bolts, and then you get 9 bolts instead of 8. So you can have the option to switch out the colored bolt if you want or not.
Yeah, that's when I had the Reynolds bolts. I was like very impressed by them.
And then if you got, let's say you went and got the Baker bolts, like those are going to come with the black nuts, black bolts, that combo. So Jacopo's the only person that's going to have the silver nut. Everybody else, for the most part, will have probably black. And so with the pros, you get 9 bolts. You get to, if you want to mess around with that colored one, you get 2. But for the Shake Junt stock bolts, you have the option to either have 1 green, 1 yellow, but you're going to be forced to ride that 1 green, 1 yellow because it's only going to come with 8 bolts. So you don't have the option of not riding it. You're going to have to ride that. Or use your older bolts and throw those green and yellow ones away. But I don't know why you'd buy them. And then those ones, obviously, you can see all green, all yellow. And then for the rise ups, that one was pretty cool because I don't know about you guys, when you ever wanted to get a thicker riser pad, and then you're like, damn, now I got to go find these longer bolts. And sometimes those longer bolts are just like way too long or whatever. So it's like, why don't we just make a bigger riser pad with the bolts involved? So rise up.
Yeah, so it fits perfect. That's
awesome. And then the elongated holes, because if you ride an Indy, you ride a Venture, you ride a Thunder, like you're going to be able to move that riser pad up and down to fit your base plate perfect.
Shane, you guys don't make rails?
Yeah, we do.
You do? Are they on here?
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw them earlier.
You're in the hard goods section.
Am I blowing it, Mitch?
No, you're just, it should hard be, you're right. It should be in the hard goods section, but it's not. It's in the accessories.
Oh, wait. Accessories, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, answered that one.
I knew we saw it earlier.
Oh, and you got, you guys are definitely 200% an accessories company. This is really cool.
Yeah, the grip tape cleaner is,
I'm not a rail guy, but I think this is.
Yeah, those are good rails, though. They're not bad. If you're a rail guy, they're legit.
Yeah, I love the idea of the grip tape cleaner, though.
It works. Love it. I mean, you guys know about grip tape cleaner. You've been skating forever, so it's not like we're new to the game here, but...
Yeah, when you get a fresh board and the grip tape's dusted, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really cool. So I guess did we cover the whole setup then?
Yeah.
Pretty much, ride. Yeah. So,
Shane, you don't ride rails, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Even when I was trying to, like during the pandemic, I was skating a lot of double-sided curbs with the homies, and I still never got into it. I just never started with it. Never, yeah. I don't. Plus, I'm not in the middle of my board. That's the forbidden 14. You know what I mean? I'm on the front panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. There's this kid in my town. This little guy, he skates. He rips. But it's funny. Like if I see him like at the park or something, and he's like, "Oh, board slide the rail," and I'm like, "I'm not board sliding anything." And he keeps saying like, "Come on, just do it. What are you scared?" And I'm like, "I'm not board sliding anything. Like that shouldn't have marks. Like you're young, you have fun, you learn every trick you got to learn. But I don't want anything in the middle. Got to keep it crispy." Rob Welsh, nose tail slides only.
That's right. That's right. I was going to show you guys this truck. Let's see if I can pull it up. This one broke the other day. I don't know if you could see this. So we're getting the groove. You see the crook groove there?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That one's good to go.
I'm sure that ledge at the park is getting that groove in there.
Oh man, that's like once I get that groove really in there, it's the best. Like if I could make a truck, I might even have like a little bit of a crook groove already kind of in the truck already. So I don't have to like go slappy crook 100 times to get like, because once I get that little groove, it's like it's this sweet pocket that you just get to sit in. You're like, oh, yeah. But a brand new truck, crooked grinds, like you fly. You go pretty fast. But there is the option of bouncing over.
So that's great. So that when you get that though, you just lock in, like that helps.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. When I get that little groove in there, I'm in there. My half cab crooks, I'm stuck.
Wow.
That's the thing for me.
It's funny. My trucks look like I have an amazing crook groove, but it's a back 180 nose grind mark because it's in the same, like the truck lands in that same spot. So it's like I always have that V, but it's from.
Yo, when I learned back 180 nose grinds, it finally dawned on me one time and I was like, oh, this is just a crooked grind going backwards. And once my brain could really understand that, like it really is just the same exact motion of just like being in that pinch, just grinding the other direction. It was on. Like, yeah, I learned it. Like it was back 180 nose grinds and crooked grinds.
Yeah, it's great. And it gets in that groove too. It just sits in that same spot.
Absolutely. Now, can I sit in it like a Jamie Foy? No, but it goes.
Yeah.
I haven't learned my weight distribution on that trick quite yet. Oh, what's another good tweak? Oh, the wheels. So when I put those on, I have to put like just when I'm putting on the nut, just to the end so I can have that wheel go. I can't have those things.
Oh, there you go.
I have to have my wheels sliding back and forth. And to me, that madness is like, one, it helps my board sound loud. And then two, if I were to go to a 50-50 grind or a crooked grind, I feel like the wheels will move out, hopefully, when trying to get into that trick. In my head, that's what I'm thinking. It allows my trucks to go a little bit wider when I need it to be. But ultimately, it's just the sound too.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely can't do them like tight where like they don't move at all.
Can't do that. I've even tried some things like I heard about.
I gotta have some play in it.
I put in like 2 washers or 3 on the inside, closer to the hanger, to allow the wheels to be further out.
Yeah,
I've done that before, giving the truck a little bit more width.
Yeah.
Oh, and
so
then
do you do? Yeah, I know you said you skate classics. You skate the logo in.
So the Formula 4s now kind of have like, so they have the what is it, the Spitfire symmetrical,
like the swirl on one side and like the text on the other side.
So I'll put the swirl on the inside, text on the out.
Okay.
I forget, there is
like
some
a normal
tweaks.
Person, Mitch.
There is some tweaks, yeah. So
Mitch rides graphic out on his wheels, and it drives me crazy.
Represent, Mitch. Represent. That's tight.
And Mitch, it is kind of sick you do that. That is like the
If I
No
made a
fucks
wheel and
given,
put
you
a
know?
graphic, if I took time to make shake jump wheels and I put a graphic on it, and I saw you representing that thing on the outside of your board, I'd be like, "That's what's up." I might even start writing my graphics on the outside if I made a wheel, just because I'm like, this is so hard. But I grew up my entire life. Who knows who taught me that one? But yeah, graphics inside. Like, I think it was just like the cleanliness of like what you saw. You know, with less distraction, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I missed the memo on that one.
Nah, that's good. It's good. Rep your wheels, man. Like, put the graphics on the outside. Even with the grip tape, you know how many people probably just like, I don't, there's a lot, including probably you guys. Like, you cannot ride graphic grip tape. Like, a big logo screaming at you when you're pushing down the street, it's probably a lot. It's too much, you know? But once you get over the hump and you kind of like enjoy it, then it's, you can't skate without it kind of thing. You're just like, oh man, am I learning how to put my feet in different, like, I need to put my foot on the H where it says shake junt, and now I can kickflip every try. You know, like, is there cheat codes behind the shake junt? Because why is the shake junt logo angled that way? You ever thought of that? It's a cheat code.
Right. Just so people can like figure out placement easier.
Yeah, you're going to be able to place your feet where you need to. Try for nollie flips. You're going to put your back foot on that tee, and you're going to all of a sudden be able to nollie flip. And you're going to tell me, what if I'm regular or what if I'm goofy? Well, then for you, it might be you put your foot where the H is on shake and you ride the grip that way. For me, I have to have shake junt facing you when I'm skating, not me. So I'm goofy footed.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm goofy footed, the way that you're looking at that board with the S at the nose, that's how I'm skating it. And so if I did a switch heel flip, the logo would flip.
That's funny. When I was riding it, I always did it the other way.
It faces you.
Yeah, because I want to look down and be able to read it.
That's Brian Herman. He wants to be, it's like, no, this is from me. And I'm the other way. I wanted to like face you.
Well, that makes sense, especially if you're filming, like it's facing the camera then.
Yeah, that or just
Mitch, well, I guess that depends, right? If you kick flip or heel flip.
So for me,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
It felt more comfortable because I got to see, like, I wouldn't have to read it, and I just felt comfortable having like where I place my front foot on the H, probably for kickflips and stuff.
Okay.
And then when I put on plain black grip tape, it makes, okay, this is a good tweak. Check this out. So let's say you're skating a board. You got an 8-inch board. You got an 8-inch board, right? And you're like, you put on this big logo shake junt grip tape. All of a sudden, your board might even feel like a 788 now, because this graphic has like made you feel that your board's now a little bit smaller, and all of a sudden you're just flipping it all over the place, but it's still the same. And then if you go the other way around, you've been riding these big logo grip tapes, and then you go to put plain black grip tape on. One, it's just like, damn, my board is boring. Like, it just feels boring. And then all of a sudden, my board feels bigger. Like, all of a sudden, this 8-inch board is now feeling like an 8.5 because there's no graphic to swallow up the board. It's just like this big, massive board. That's what I've experienced when I ride plain black grip tape. And if I ride plain black grip tape, we're getting into tweak now because I forgot about a lot of this shit. If we're riding plain black grip tape, I have to have a green and yellow bolt at the nose.
Wow.
Yeah, because we both ride plain black grip, and we both have to have that one bolt at the front just to know what the front is.
So you do have an identification bolt for your board.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
do top left. I'm goofy. I do the top left.
Get the one green, one yellow. Put those two at the top. Or do what I do and go one green up here, one yellow down here, crisscross.
I'm riding one right now that's...
It's endless.
It's got the two logos, like one on either end. I wish my board was up here to like show.
You have the twin nose.
But I didn't see it there.
That's funny, Mitch. So you have the twin nose or twin tail grip tape that I made specifically for Neen and Foy. It was never sold to any store. So The only way that someone could have got that grip tape is one, you were at Baker Boys and you got a free sheet of grip, or two, you ordered over $50 worth of product online and you got that grip for free.
Yeah, that's what it was because they threw it in when I bought those shirts and stuff when I got back from the trip.
That's it. Yeah, you got a piece of grip that's never been made for the public.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I'm riding that right now because Turbo was asking me about it, like where it got it from.
Here.
But yeah, when it comes to my setup, I'm like, yeah, very, very, very particular about everything from the bushings to a squeaking sound to how my wheels rattle to how my bearings roll, my grip tape, like every little detail, like it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, 30 plus years. You got to be over 30 years in now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like of course you're gonna have like this is how I want it to be, and this is it's like we've all gotten to that
then
point.
you got the shoes. You got the shoes. The shoes will just that's another big thing. Like cup sole, Volt sole, slim cup, insoles, no insoles. Oh my god, that is a bigger tweak almost because that can just like change your whole shit.
Yeah.
Are you still running those 440s?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, not on the 440s. No. After I saw you, I went to the Tommy Knox New Balance shoe.
okay.
Did that for a while. Filmed some tricks for that new video, Baker Has a Death Wish 2. I would kind of like the tricks I got in there was in the New Balance Tom Knox shoes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So that felt like I had a little bit more grip on my board than I did the 440s, which is like more of a cup sole, thinner cup sole. And then, yeah, started riding some Nike Blazers again. That's a great shoe, but a little thin for me. And then right now, I got some Vans half cabs right now. I used to ride those a lot, so I might give those a shot again. But the New Balance Tommy Knox, man, that's a good shoe.
I was super hyped when those black Tom Knox, they reminded me of old Actions.
That's
I was
right.
like, these are such a cool colorway.
So the white ones came out and the black ones came out, and I was like, these are my Kareem Campbell KCKs all over again.
Yeah.
And once I got those on my feet, it gave me that nostalgia, and it just made me. I even went and refilmed the two tricks I had in the Baker Death Wish video. I went and refilmed both those in the Tom Knoxes because I had this feeling. I was like, I want to go refilm these tricks, like get these in these shoes right here.
That's always the best stuff. It really is. Like, kit's on point. I love this. I got to capture this. It's always, man.
That clip of you getting bodied on the nose slide.
Dude, so, hey, like, you know what? Did it, it's one of those days, right? You do it twice and you're like, let's get one more. And you air foot off the end and that's it. Sunny's lights out. You're like, shit. Well, at least we got the trick. I didn't get too hurt. I mean, I did get hurt, but not enough to like take me out. And then, go back the next week, different fit, whatever, just like got the Tommy Knox on my feet. And that was just first go. Tom Knox glued to my feet. Boom. That was the one I wanted. It felt good.
Wait, Shane, were you a big Action guy back in the day?
Yes and no. So yes, because Mike Maldonado rode for Action and I was Flow for America, and kind of towards that time of like I was living in Westchester, staying with Mike. Mike was getting tons of shoes from Action, and I ended up trying those shoes out during that moment. They were sick. The Guy Marianos, the Genos. I think I rode the Genos a lot.
Yeah, the Islanders. Those were so good.
Islanders. Yeah, that was it. I think I had some gray Islanders. That's right.
I loved Action.
Yeah, Action was good, man. Hard not to with that lineup of that team is off the chain.
Yeah, I always thought too, like, wow, these are really cool looking. Like, I don't want Nikes to wear around. I want to wear my Actions. I remember I always like felt like I had like these are cooler than like getting like some Nike basketball shoe, whatever.
No, they had
Yeah,
the crossover, right? They had, I mean, the guy shoe looked like an Air Max, like go either way.
Yeah.
You're kind of starting to see that again, no? I mean, you see the Tiago shoe, especially the newer Tiago shoe, has that vibe.
Yeah.
Shane, did you skate those? The Tiago, the 1010s?
I skated the 1010s. I liked the 1010s. It was the only issue I had was just I didn't have enough board feel. It is a good shoe. That little tweak for me was just enough to where I was like, damn, because you really want to, when you really want to like something, but you're just kind of face to facts, like, hey, I'm just like, I want to feel my board a little bit more, and I think I'm falling back into like wanting to ride more of a Volk than a Cup, and that shoe being that.
I think that's why I couldn't do the 440s because there was a little too much feeling coming through.
That, and it's a Cup sole. So, I mean, you're not going to get as much grip and it's going to be a little thin. But
yeah,
the flip tricks, it was just like, oh, I'm like doing nollie kickflips again. I haven't done that trick in a while. And it's like that New Balance 440 really gave me that, like, reminded me of some tricks I used to want to, used to do, and I don't do them anymore. And it's like a Volk shoe can like really just stick, when you're going to kickflip, it just wraps around your foot and you're just like, dang, let go.
One of my favorite shoes of all time is the GT Blazers, which is just, they're too thin. My back would be done, but I did love that shoe.
It's a good shoe.
But the Volk, it is like night and day. If you're skating Cup soles and you go back to a Volk, it's like you said, you feel that sticks to your board,
right?
Which is pretty cool for some things.
Yeah, I mean, when you're hauling oats and you're going about to as fast as you can, you're about to ollie into a nose slide. You do not want to think about your shoe slipping off.
I guess we will wrap this up.
Yeah. Well, Shane, thanks for coming on and breaking everything down with us. Definitely
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good luck with the show, man. Keep going. I love seeing it. I mean, it's just more in skating. That is what we need. Yeah. Shout out Terra Planet X. Come on.
Yes. Let's go.
Support the fucking homies, dude. Let's go.
I'm about to set my last one up.
Shit. It's still going. Let's go.
Let's go.
I know. I'm about to hit up Angel.
I went into a shop not that long ago. They still have one on the wall. I was like, I need this. I bought it right off the wall.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna test those bearings and pop the shields on them. Become a real street skater. Pop my shields.
You might hate it because you've grown up just forever not skating your board. It might feel crazy.
I mean, I know how, like, people's boards sound cool when I hear it, like that. Psh, it sounds cool. Like I said, if I had Phillips hardware, I wouldn't skate. It's funny, like that's the one thing, and people are totally like, everybody's like, oh, I popped the shields, and it's just like right over my head. But if somebody has Phillips hardware, like they're not hearing the end of it.
But yo, you gotta break out and I gotta break out. World for life.